Hi everyone. So welcome to the first episode of Let's Reveal. So Let's Reveal is a different concept. What we were thinking of coming out, and finally we are here. So this is not about like selling lasers or like telling about our devices or something like that, which regularly you see from different companies. So this is a new concept where we invite our guest, the like our dermatologists, plastic surgeons, and learn from them, from them their journey, like how they have grown, their insights, and reveal their secrets. So the first episode, and it's a pleasure to welcome Dr. Soma Sarkar. Hi, ma'am.
Hi Kuntal, it is pleasure to have you here.
Yeah. So Dr. Soma is a dermatologist practicing in Bombay, and so it's amazing to. And I've been knowing you for so many years.
Yes.
And thanks for accepting the invite for
my
this
pleasure
event,
as well,
for this
Kuntal.
program.
Yes.
So, like, how do you feel it?
Oh,
I'm nervous. Huh?
okay. So whenever there is a podcast and whenever there is something like this, the first thing which comes in mind that what I should be speaking, and I start preparing a script. But eventually, when I come on the hot seat, it's completely different.
Yeah.
It becomes more candid here.
Yeah. So this is the first time for me, so bit nervous. Okay.
Don't be, you'll get used to it.
Yeah. So like just like for the people, for the new dermatologists, new people, like I think you've been practicing for more than like what 17, 18 years.
Yes, almost 17 years now.
It doesn't look like seeing you.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I don't look my age.
So like how was the journey? Like if you can just share with us.
So Kuntal, the journey was wonderful, but equally a roller coaster at the same time. I'm not going to say that it's been easy, but I have really enjoyed and learned a lot in my journey. Today, wherever I am and wherever you're seeing me, has come with lots of ups and downs and lot of things that I learned on this way. So it's been a wonderful journey, and I don't repent a single time of my experience in this past so many years of learning.
I know. So like you're like basically from Bombay, born and brought up, everything.
Okay, so this is to little tell people that actually I'm not from this side of Bombay, which is Bandra, where I'm practicing at present. I am from a small place known as Ambernath. I do not know how many of you will know this, but this is a little beyond Kalyan.
It's like the outskirts, yeah.
Little outskirts. It's a small, I would not even say city, it's a town. And my basic education, my schooling, I had done it there. I moved out, especially when I started doing my medicine. But till then, I was in and around in Ambernath, and you know how it is, small towns, you're not exposed to too many things. Like, to be very frank, people will amuse to know this, that I did not know what is a McDonald. I did not know what is a PVR.
Good old days.
Yes, those good old days. And when I joined my medical school, my friends and colleagues used to teach me that, do you come with the bullock cart from there? How do you travel from such a long distance? So jokes apart, but yes, that's where I'm born and brought up from.
Okay. And so like from the beginning you wanted to be a doctor?
Yeah, this was something that I always wanted to do since I remember my milestone as a child, that I wanted to become a doctor. But to be clear again here, I had never thought that I will take skin.
Okay.
Not.
So what was the first choice?
Yeah, so I was doing my MBBS, and then we have internship, and that's where your rotational duty starts. So what happened was the rotational duty started with surgical posting, and the way you have to work is under tremendous pressure and a lot of workload.
I know.
So by the time I finished my internship, I had decided that I will not take any mainstream lines where it requires a lot of night duties and emergency calls and all this stuff. Though they were money making branches at those days, but I was like, no, I want to have a 9 to 5 job, and I want to come home, have a peace of mind and chill. That's where I decided, because we also had a 15 days posting into skin department.
Okay.
And so I had a first hand experience, and I thought that this will be a nice thing to do. Not much of investment those days, I thought so.
So I think those days aesthetics was
nothing. I'm telling you that skin or dermatology was only itch scratch cycle.
Like a daat khaj khujli.
Yes, my father actually told me, and he was very upset with me, saying that how much are you going to earn out of this khaj khujli? Why are you doing it? Why are you not taking gynac in India as a female? You would earn a lot throughout the year. But for me, my sleep was very important. at that time.
I know.
And I realized, so in 2005, I started my post-graduation with D.Y. Patil College, which was that time associated with Rajawadi Hospital in Ghatkopar. So it was like a
Okay.
peripheral municipal for us.
Okay.
And that's how the journey started. By the time I completed my post-graduation, things had changed completely.
So this is which year?
2007-8.
Okay, so we're not guessing our age.
Yes,
Yeah.
I would want to.
Yeah. So fine. So like it's a long journey then. 2008, you passed
Yes.
out 25, almost like 17, 18 years.
Yes.
So like how do you see like moving from Amarnath to Bandra, practicing in Bandra,
Yes.
and like what is the difference you see in terms of the people or the market?
So, first of all, for me, Bandra was completely a new region, and I came to this place by serendipity. That's actually one of my seniors had an opening in a hospital, and he just wanted to give that post to somebody else, and that's how it started.
Okay.
So it came to me, and I just started it for fun, to be very, to tell you the truth. And I used to come. Even I started working when I was in my second year PG actually.
Okay.
So I started visiting this hospital once a week those days.
Okay.
After the
So you used
college.
to travel from Amarnath?
Ghatkopar. So yeah, from Amarnath to Ghatkopar.
Wow.
From Ghatkopar to Bandra.
Yeah. Yeah. So like if like people who doesn't know, it's almost like 70, 80 kilometers.
Yeah, and those days we never had those direct trains.
Yeah, you have
I
to change
had
the
only
thing.
one route to come via Dadar.
Yeah.
That's the only place I
And
would have
change the
come,
train.
change the trains,
Yeah.
and then come. So that's how it started. And by the time I realized I passed, I had already picked up the practice in that hospital. And so that kept me coming back to this place. And fortunately, I also started looking out for places to practice in and around. So
Okay.
my first job, actually corporate job, which started was with Laser X at Juhu.
Yeah, I remember.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was the place I started, and from there, then I started moving from different places. I did work with different doctors for a corporate clinic.
So I think you were exposed to lasers in a quite early days. Like,
Yes, quite early days. Actually, we did learn a lot, Kuntal, in our college days, but it was all theory.
Yeah.
And now that you said that your show is what to reveal and
Yeah.
how to reveal.
Yeah,
So
some
let me reveal
secrets.
some secret here. So actually, if you remember those days, Kuntal, I did work
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah, we were like
We
we
were
were working
together.
for
Yeah,
a
we were
company.
working for a company,
Yeah.
and I remember that you and Mr. Meswani, if I
Right,
can name
right,
it,
right. Yeah,
all
definitely.
of you are pretty instrumental
Yeah.
in teaching me my lasers. And to be
So for
very
me also,
realistic-
like I started my journey, I was like almost 8, 9 years in Akar, Coherent.
Yes, yes.
And we learned a lot.
Lot.
on
And
those
I
days,
would
yeah.
be really thankful, and I have no qualms in accepting this, that I was taught by the industry people. And I'm very, very grateful about this opportunity that you guys were there with the right time and right place with me. So that's where my laser
I
journey
think
started.
I think it's a mutual thing.
Yes.
It's a mutual thing.
Yes.
And
But it is very important, Kuntal, especially this is for all the new doctors here. When you want to learn something, you do not see that where are you learning from. Then you don't look at the degrees, and you don't look at how many degrees are they adding up to their names, because it is something that you have to understand. The experience and the core knowledge of that subject lies with certain people. And you should be open to learn from everybody.
so that makes me ask you one thing. So you have seen the industry for almost like more than a decade now, I think. So what change you feel like how it was in the early days, like 2010, 11, and like now at
Yeah.
present? What changes you see?
See, yes, I would say that life was not easy those days. I mean to say practice was not that easy because, especially for doctors like us who came from a non-medical background, we did not have any of our parents being doctors. So to start off, to know exact direction, to know how to start was very difficult. Secondly, we did not have so many opportunities like workshops or like a lot of conferences from where we could learn firsthand. They were very limited in number. Okay, but nevertheless, in spite of that, the learning hunger was too high in those days. I would see doctors really want to learn or want to learn new skills, and were working hard. They would read, they would attend classes wherever it would be
I
possible.
think I don't know how people will take it, but when something is available like on a platter, or
Yes.
something is available
Yes.
too much,
Yes.
so then it's something different.
Yeah, so
Those
gradually
days
what I've
were, yeah,
seen, yeah,
yeah.
gradually what I've seen, Kuntal, now, obviously the industry has changed and evolved, and I'm very happy that they are contributing towards doctors' education. But what is happening is, I am seeing the youngsters being in a rush. You know, there is a way and a learning curve to everything. But these doctors who have just come out are in so much of rush to do everything together. And obviously, I'm not saying that they are also been fortunate, as I said, that there are the means to invest in machines and the setup and everything. But the story doesn't end there. You know, it's simple for me as if I'm going to hand over a Mercedes car to a Maruti car driver,
I think skill is
he's going to
important.
spoil the Mercedes
Yeah,
as well, right?
skill is important. And like,
Yes.
how do you see, like today, given an option, if you want to start a clinic in Amarnath, will you start it?
Oh, yes.
The reason is like today, see, aesthetics, we as revealed, we always believe aesthetics is for all.
Yes.
Like everyone wants to look good, feel good.
Yes.
So, like in today's world, I think, what is your option,
Yeah, so
opinion?
if when you asked me, would I, because I know that I practice in a premium place,
Yeah.
and would I want to go back to the place where I started from? And I would say yes, because I do see patients from that side of the part of the
But
city as well, and I'm seeing that it is evolving. People are getting more. Obviously, thanks to social media, people are getting more educated. They are exploring more things. They are getting more exposure to new things, and people are wanting. When everybody wants to look good, why
yeah,
not?
and like for our business also, I can tell like
Yes.
over last few years, especially post COVID, also tier two, tier three cities,
Yes,
definitely there's a big awareness.
big awareness, and I feel because in their city itself,
The
in the
aspiration level is much higher.
much higher, plus because they don't have too many options to go
Yeah.
nearby, when they come to you, they are very attentive. They are very sincere. They want to listen to you. Uh, they do things what you want them to do. You know, so I've seen that the practice has also evolved, Kuntal, in these many years, and obviously it's a growing field, and it is always going to grow.
Also, like one thing I want to ask you, see, we have seen a lot of doctors practicing. What gives you a special interest in training? Because like I can tell you, like and for the people, like you travel a lot,
Yes.
especially for training, not for attending conferences.
Yes.
So like, so what is the
Yes.
motivation?
Okay, so it again started with a very simple thing that I came through a institution where I was thoroughly clinically taught, but we never had the opportunities to learn practical stuff, especially in aesthetic industry. So for me, again, when I started my journey, again, all respect to all my seniors, doctors here, but I had a principle that after I did my MD, I will not work under anybody.
Okay, okay.
So I had started independent, and because of that, there was nobody to handhold me or teach me the trade tricks. So I need to find out ways and means to learn by myself, and that's where the opportunity knocked at my door. One of the companies, which I will never forget to mention, Ranback C, asked me would I will be able or would I be interested in teaching, provided they said that they would just take care of my travel and my food. Everything else would be pro bono. The only thing they agreed was they would invest in me as they would train me.
Okay.
And that's where I jumped in, Kuntal. So
Okay.
I started the training purpose because of that, because I wanted to learn. But gradually in this whole journey, I realized that I was good at it. I had good communication skill. I was approachable. People liked me, or the way I would explain, make things simple for them. And that's where it also gave me a kick that I was good at it. Money eventually followed.
Yeah,
That
it's
is,
a
yeah,
it's a part and
later.
parcel of the game.
But I never looked at, to be very frank. Again, what I see today's generation, the first thing people ask is how much I will be paid.
It is. It's a different world. World
Yes,
is changing.
I never started with that. I was like, okay, so I have to do this, and I have learned so much because of that. And it's been almost 17 years that I started this journey of training, and as I said, that I'm still learning. I'm still open to learning, but yes, it's really something that you can give back also. You love to do that because I've got a lot during this training process.
Yeah, like you have been traveling all across India, and I
Yes.
think, and that gives you also a like what you say satisfaction of training people,
Yes.
new doctors, upcoming doctors,
You
and
get to know people,
lot of
you
people.
network, and not network because every time it's about business, people.
Business.
It's something, it's about your human touch, your apathy. You want people to be connected to you. And as a profession, as doctors, I think we should also be there for each other.
So how do you see, like today you have a clinic in Bombay?
Yes.
So for people, like she has a clinic in Bombay, she has a clinic in Bangalore, she has a clinic in Goa. So 3 clinics, not an
Yes.
easy task.
Yes.
So how do you manage?
So yes, it requires a lot of discipline, Kuntal, to start off.
It's not easy.
No, it's not easy at all, and I'm not going to sound easy for this. But you know what? Because some days you have to get early as 3 o'clock in the morning to catch a flight at 6 o'clock. You have to come back the same day and attend the clinic here. In between, I'm also traveling for trainings.
Yeah.
So you have to be very disciplined about how the day starts. That includes your personal commitments as well, in terms of what you eat, how much you exercise, what's the kind of lifestyle you actually go
Yeah,
through.
so much of traveling and everything, you have to
So you
balance
have
it
to
out.
balance it out. You have to ensure that you're not falling sick because you're traveling, you're eating outside. So you have to be very, very selective about what you're eating. Because when you're out, you get everything at your disposal. You get all kind of food you want to. But then again, you have to zip your mouth. You have to know what you have to eat. You have to keep your exercise routine in place. You have to sleep on time. How much ever you want to party out and how much ever you want to, but there are times when you have to put your foot down and say no.
So now, like say, you have been practicing in Bandra, and we all know you have a lot of good friends out here. And so how do you deal with it? Like a patient comes to you, the same patient might go to them. So like how do you deal with it?
So should I be straight to answer this?
Totally,
Kuntal?
totally honest. Huh?
Absolutely
Yeah,
honest.
we need to reveal everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the thing is, you have certain good friends and you have certain very good friends.
Okay.
I would put it that
good,
way.
Good.
But yes, so when it comes to your friends, जब दोस्त होते हैं, तो you know about each other a lot, and you're beyond your profession. So
जब दुश्मन
secrets,
होते हैं?
that's what I'm coming to that. So जब दोस्त होते हैं तो उनके तो secrets पता होते हैं, तो उसमें कोई problem नहीं होती, and it is a healthy competition. It is going to happen, and yes, you rightly said कि patients मेरे और मेरे दोस्तों के कभी कभार overlap भी होते हैं. But we all respect each other's boundaries. And when it comes to दुश्मन जो आपने कहा, तो let me clear one thing here, Kuntal, that I as a personality, I at least do not have any kind of ill feeling for any of the doctors practicing. Due respect, as I said, that I'm very blessed that I'm practicing in this place, and I have a very, very known and respectable figure up on my head.
Yeah, like
And that is
everybody respects him.
everybody respects him. I feel that he's sitting on my head, and that's like a blessing on me.
Absolutely.
I take it that way. So I think if I have to talk about dushman, it's just about competition, and everybody's practice is different. And the thing is here that I don't think the competition should only be with yourself. I should only look at my graph, that how much I've grown from yesterday. I think if you do that, I think you'll be at peace always.
And coming to the new trend, all the social media trend. So it's like, see, today we see influencer everywhere. How do you see a dermatologist playing the role of influencer? Like today we see a lot of dermatologists doing reels, promoting their services and everything. So what is your opinion, and do you do it?
Yes, and so again to this, I would say, Kuntal, a lot of people, have this feeling that ये doctors काम कुछ करते हैं या सारा दिन सिर्फ बड़बड़ करते हैं, or they just do the chatting part. So no, it's not like that. You can only speak when you also have an in-hand experience or clinical experience or whatever work you're doing. So it takes a lot of effort. So जितना easy ये कैमरे पे दिखता होगा, doctors specifically when they talk, it's not that easy.
I know it's a hard work of so many years.
Because Kuntal, one thing, we are not very camera friendly people. जब हम कॉलेज में थे तो हमें ये पता ही नहीं था, Instagram नहीं था, YouTube नहीं था, nothing was there. This is very new to us. So just imagine, yes, but one good advantage that we were always facing unknown people as patients. है ना? तो हम रोज नए लोगों से मिलते हैं, नए experiences होते हैं, तो talking, counseling is a part of our job. And I think that is the reason a lot of doctors are doing really well when they're doing the reels and where they're doing all these things on camera, which is also good. Because today's time on social media is very adulterated, unfiltered.
Totally.
A influencer talking about any creams.
Like a non-qualified.
Non-qualified, doesn't have the science backed, evidence-based theory with them. They are mostly commercialized because whatever they are trained, the brand pays them, they talk about. So there is no studies or there is no clinical experience. But whereas when you see a doctor talking on camera, please understand that's a benefit, that a doctor is talking with so many years studies, experience. So it definitely makes a difference. And I think that's the right way, because why did we take this channel? Clinic काफी नहीं था? No, because अब अगर आपके मार्केट में इतना अनफिल्टर्ड एक्सपोजर है टू द टॉपिक, I think it is a responsibility of each doctor to also clear that.
So I think like doctor being a qualified people,
Yes.
giving right information to
Yes.
the public is very, very
Yes,
important.
very important.
Yeah. And it makes sense also because
Yes.
like some people who are not qualified, they telling something which is fake or commercialized, as rightly
Yes.
said. A qualified doctor, dermatologist giving right information, it helps the society.
So I feel always that people please just don't go by this reel that ये डॉक्टर सिर्फ बातें करती हैं, but वो डॉक्टर really मेहनत करके वो बातें करती है.
No, definitely, and like especially for the new doctor, new upcoming
Yes.
dermatologist.
Yes.
What is your advice? Like today, after they pass out from the college, because see, like the days where you passed out,
Yes.
aesthetic or like lasers was not the buzzword.
Yes.
So now it is like everybody wants to jump into the
Yes.
practice, private
Yes.
practice. So is there any right time for that?
So there is no right time. One, I always feel as an individual that you have to start early, because
Okay.
when you start early,
How early?
I would say if you're confident, you start immediately after passing out.
Okay.
Why? Because it takes a lot of time, minimum average of 3 years to settle in your practice.
Okay.
The more time you while away, the more time you will get to settle. So I feel if you start early, you also start early because you need to grasp, you need to learn. And yes, but my only thing to all these new doctors is when they
Yeah,
come out.
I was about to ask you this 3 advice
Yeah.
for this new upcoming doctors.
Yeah, one, that they have to learn. Okay. Second, they should not get intimidated by looking at the other experienced and settled or established doctors. Okay, they should aspire to become like that, but that's not the benchmark. Okay, and third, there is no shortcuts.
So one bit tricky question: what advantage you feel the new doctors or new breed of dermatologists have, what you people 20, 15 years back you didn't had?
The one thing which I majorly feel the shift is from the other side of the industry, Kuntal.
Okay.
Yeah, we did not have so much of openness with the pharmaceuticals, with the laser companies, with the injectable company. It used to be a privilege to be called to a workshop or a consumer meet with a laser company or with an injectable company. Today, it has become much more easier, and I'm very happy that that shift has occurred, because these doctors don't have to struggle so much that where should we learn from, and they are learning from the right sources.
Definitely, because see, as a industry, we can tell a lot of companies globally they are interested in the Indian market. They are seeing this market is growing. Okay, people are investing in this market.
And Kuntal, one thing I mean to say, this is for you also.
Yeah.
I don't take me wrong here, but just to, I always believe that the doctors should not be sold by brands. They should be learning by technology.
Yeah, I don't want to go into any controversy. Okay.
You hold a brand, I know,
Yeah.
but it is very important for the doctors to understand the technology,
Sure.
the physics, the science.
Absolutely. And see, like this show, so this is not for promoting Reveal. We are very clear. We
Yeah.
don't want to sell lasers here.
Yeah.
This is just to motivate young dermatologists, give a story of people who are successful in their practices and their journey. So definitely, this message will be given to them, and I think it's a right way of doing things.
I am very curious, Kuntal, here. I
Yeah.
want to ask you something, if
Yeah.
I am
Okay,
allowed to.
okay, please.
Yeah? Now, you have also seen the shift from where we started
Yeah.
and where we are today,
Yeah.
and you've been dealing with who's of the industry,
Right.
right?
Right.
So, do you think that the market dynamics have shifted, or how are you dealing with this pressure? Because one side there's the cream de la crowd, and one side there are these upcoming and establishing doctors. So do you also get into the conflict sometimes that you are more biased toward this crowd or you're more biased toward that?
Okay, I don't know like how people will take this answer, but it's like Kuntal as an individual who is talking. Okay,
Yes.
not from a company point of view.
Yes.
So as per me, I feel like being in this industry for almost 2 decades now. No, the doctors whom we used to meet 20 years back or 10, 15 years back, no, there was more discussion on clinical part, science, technology, and it was a more scientific discussions. Of late, we are seeing a trend shifting to more commercial discussion. It's good. It's like today people are very straight, okay. But I think there should be a right balance between a commercial and scientific knowledge. So that is one trend which is shifting. I won't say shifting. It's a balance somewhere. Somewhere sometimes it's heavier on the other side.
Yes.
So and in terms of doctors, see, for us, all doctors are the same. We don't differentiate between any doctors.
So you
But
don't have your personal favorites?
we prefer see, like as a personal, I can tell you definitely the users, we it's because they have shown a trust on our brand. We always are with them, okay. That doesn't mean we're not with the doctors who are not our users. So it is like association always comes once it's both the ways, so it has an edge.
I would want to know the favorite doctors later. Don't worry, it will not be on camera.
Yeah, off the record.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So now, just before we end the thing,
Yes.
few. Uh, okay. So what is like? It's a, and be honest with it.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Like being in this practice, have you ever faced any unpleasant questions from any of the patients?
Uh, Unpleasant, yes. Funny, yes.
Okay.
And yes,
Any incident if you want to share?
Yeah, just recently, one of the very senior most gentlemen, very sweet man, and came for his consultation, and he filled his KYC outside, and I was sitting here, and he came in, and then he said that I have these skin tags, and it feels like a wart, so would you please examine? So I removed my lens, I came near his face, and then he's telling me, are you the main doctor, or I'm going to see somebody else? You're just examining me? And I said, no, sir, I'm the main doctor. You look too young to be a doctor. I said, I do not know. Should I be taking this as a compliment?
It
Or
is. Yeah.
should I be, bothering over it? I need to look like a doctor. So sometimes you have these incidences, and sometimes there are unpleasant, like some patients have taken the consultation and asked me, why are you so expensive?
So what's the answer?
So I'm like, because I give a lot of time, I come with a lot of experience, and my skill sets are really fine tuned, and that's what I charge for.
Okay. Okay. From the industry point, I think everybody is expecting me to ask one question: what you expect from the medical aesthetic industry? As a doctor, as a dermatologist, what do you feel like? What should be like? What they are doing is right, and what they should do?
So Kuntal,
As an industry.
as an industry, what I'm saying, and what I'm very happy to say this, that the evolving scenario of the inputs from the industry has remarkably increased. Okay, and there have been times when industry have gone ahead beyond their means to spread the knowledge, and they're taking initiatives, like they are doing a lot of these short videos bolo, social media pe polo, consumer meets polo, but that is definitely adding an edge to the practice, and everybody is contributing. That's a good thing, and but I just feel sometimes that it gets little too overbearing.
Okay.
Okay, I might sound a little I don't know how to put it, but one should not be come to in a place of spoon feeding. There is a thin line there. Like you should educate, but not spoon feed. And nowadays the trend is becoming that everybody wants to be spoon fed. I'm seeing that nobody wants to start applying their brains to the technology. So this is somewhere I think that's the only thing what I feel the industry should be.
Also, like, say you're traveling international quite a
Yes.
lot. What is the change in, like, is the trend changing from east to west or west to east? How is it moving?
See, again, at a very, not very sad, but yes, the real truth is still that we look up to the West for a lot of things even now. And that's not because we lack the skill or we are not educated or we are not studying. But we have to accept one thing majorly: the research.
Okay.
The kind of trials they do is much more higher in numbers than us.
So I think that gives them more authenticity.
Yes. So what happens is you get a lot of evidence-based studies from that side of the part of the world, which Indians do have the capacity, but we don't do it. you call it laziness here, or probably because of so much of time paucity or the kind of population we are into. Sometimes it's not easy. If you ask me, Kuntal, today in my private practice, it's very difficult for me to cite a paper, which
It
I
is-
should be.
Yeah, that
Okay.
is important.
Yes.
Important.
So what I'm doing at the practice, I'm not recording it or I'm not having a retrospective study
And
towards it.
documentation is
Yes.
lacking.
Yes.
Photography, documentation,
Yes.
all those things from
Yes.
Indian point of view.
So otherwise, if I have to look at the skill set,
Definitely, I think we are ahead.
we are ahead,
We are
much
ahead.
more, and we are much more adventurous. There are a lot of medications, we take a lot of onus and we write. Okay.
So just on lighter side, if we want to ask you, what do you like? What do you do when you are not in the clinic?
Oh, so when I'm not in the clinic, I like to do my routine exercise. So I go to the gym. I like to listen to music, and I love traveling. That's where my training
Okay.
also takes me away. So I run away. I have my solo trips.
Okay, so what type of music you prefer?
Oh, so for me, music depends upon the mood,
Uh-huh.
but I like mostly the soothing ones.
Okay.
But sometimes, if I'm in the very joyful and peppy, I like to hear those peppy songs as well. And I also love to dance. I am a trained classical dancer.
Okay,
but it's
really?
been, yes.
So that's one secret you revealed now.
Yes.
Okay.
So I am a Bharatnatyam Visharad.
Okay.
And I've been dancing for a pretty long time. But since the time it's in the practice and a busy schedule, which I can't give time to this. But yes, I would love to pursue my hobby again.
Definitely, definitely. And for traveling, as you said, so what is there in the next bucket list to complete?
So traveling, my bucket list is Cherrapunji in India, which I want.
It's
I
an
want to go
amazing
to-
place, huh?
Yes, I want to go
Especially
to
in
Spiti.
the monsoon.
Yeah, Spiti. So I
Okay.
want to do a little bit of a Himachal. These are few things in India which I want to cover in this year.
Okay.
And hopefully by this end of the year, I should be able to do it.
So, Doc, let's have a quick rapid fire. Okay, that's the customs of a show.
Okay.
Okay, simple 5 questions.
Not scary, right?
No,
Kuntal?
absolutely no.
Okay.
And sorry, you won't have any hamper after that.
That's not fair.
Okay, so the first question: Calcutta or Mumbai?
Mumbai.
Okay, not Kolkata.
No.
Okay.
Only for food.
Only for food.
Yeah.
Okay. Botox or filler?
Fillers.
High-paid clients or highly satisfied clients?
Highly satisfied clients.
Vacation in Greece or Cherrapunji?
Really difficult to answer here.
Hey, it's an easy one.
Okay, Cherrapunji right now.
Cherrapunji. Okay, the last one. This is the easiest one. Vada pav or puchka?
Vada pav.
Vada pav?
Yes.
Okay. Chalo, thank you so much, Doc. So thank you, ma'am. It was a real pleasure talking to you, knowing you, and I've been knowing you for last so many years.
Yes.
But still, I came to know few of your secrets now, and so it was great interacting you. And thanks for coming to the show. Thank you
And
so much.
Thank you, Kuntal, for inviting
It's
to
a
the
pleasure.
first episode of your
Yeah.
show. I'm
And first
privileged
is
to be
always
here.
and first is always special.
Yes, and I look forward and all the best for more coming of these episodes. And you hope to grow in multiple times and in multiple ways.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And see you everyone in the next episode, which will be coming soon. Thank you.